Okay, Council Vice President. Good evening, everyone. This is the conference meeting of the Council, of the Municipal Council of the City of Orange Township held at City Hall, 29 North Day Street, Newark of Orange, New Jersey, on Tuesday, April 21st at 7:06 p.m. Roll call. Councilman Coley.
Present.
Councilwoman Eason.
Here.
Councilwoman Hilbert.
Present.
Council Vice President Montague III.
Present.
Councilman Clifford R. Ross.
Here.
Councilwoman Jamie Summers Johnson.
Here.
Council President Wooten is absent. Also present is Tricia Scipio, Chris Hartwig, Derek Brown, Fire Chief, Niles Clements, CFO, Aaron Mizrahi, Deputy City Attorney, and Marlon G. Towns, Legislative Research Officer. We will now recognize a moment of silence. Is there anything specific that any council member would like to dedicate this moment to?
Yes, I would like to dedicate this moment to Lincoln Avenue Elementary School teacher, Miss Stack, who passed away.
Teacher, what's her name?
Miss Stack.
Any others?
Can we dedicate it to the 8 children who lost their lives in Louisiana, and that we can continue to pray for their mothers, even though they're surviving. It's going to be a tough road back.
Amen.
Tough road back.
So let's bow our heads for a moment of silence. Thank you. Please be apprised, anyone wishing to discuss agenda or general items shall sign their name on the comment sign-up sheet and will be allowed a maximum of 3 minutes to interact with the council. The requirements of NJSA 10:4-9 et se Sunshine Law has been met. A notice of this meeting was sent to the Star Ledger and published in the records transcript on Thursday, July 10th, 2025, posted on the bulletin board in City Hall, the council's website, the city's website, and filed in the office of the city clerk. Is our Essex County liaison available? No. So we will skip the matters of discussion and move right into legislation. The resolution and ordinance to be presented at tonight's meeting are listed on the attached regular meeting agenda. If any council member wishes to discuss any resolution or ordinance, it may be discussed at this time.
Council Vice President,
Yes, Councilwoman.
could the business administrator or our CFO just explain to us about 9/2026?
Before we do that, council member Eason, can you pull your microphone just a little closer to you, because what happens is the IT person sends me messages
Can't
and say
hear
they
me?
can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now, ma'am. Thank
And I
you.
can talk louder too.
I know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure, I'll explain it. It's a bond ordinance providing for various water utility capital improvements. It's broken into 2 parts. The first part is approximately $3.4 million. That includes reimbursement from a FEMA grant of $2.8 million, but you have to front the money, so we have to put it in the bond ordinance. Once the improvements are completed, you submit the request for reimbursement to FEMA, which has already obligated the funds and approved the projects. The second category is approximately $2 million, and it's for the replacement of mains for both sewer and water, some curb stops, some valves, and some fire hydrants that were damaged throughout the year. And we do the repairs or the replacements, and this is how we pay for them. We've done this before.
So we have to put up the whole thing up front, and then we'll get a reimbursement from FEMA.
Correct.
Okay.
And can you add, because we just had a discussion on this, Chris.
Sure.
Will you let everybody know that it will not require any increase in water or sewer rates?
No, because the 2.8 is reimbursable through the grant, and because we've built in capital improvements into the rate increase that we've already passed, there'll be no increase in the rates.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Council Vice President?
Councilmember Ross.
726, and this is going to be to Councilwoman Jamie Summers.
Yes.
Can you just explain this one to me?
Which number, 6 or 7?
Seven, I'm good with 6.
Okay.
But I'm only asking about 7 because I thought we had this registry already.
And I'm glad you asked that. We have something similar, but it's not strong enough because as I'm finding out, like the South Ward is very unique, so we don't have senior housing. So a lot of our South Ward seniors are still not on the older adults list. So I have at least 60 names that were not on the list. So I figure if each council person starts gathering names, we can load them up because, for example, like I did the Anchor program where my mother, the New Jersey Stay with her, but some of our seniors might not have that information, so I want to work along with Ms. Crouch Stewart to at least, I know, like I said, I have at least 60 that are not on her list.
Okay.
So it's just voluntary, and it also will help us in bad weather, you know, plowing them out if we send the kids to help them and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's why.
Okay, thank you for that.
Thank you.
231, I just spoke to the BA about this one also. There was a typo that needs to be amended.
Which one?
Yeah.
231.
231. So I have some
Yes.
language that I'm going to add to the fourth whereas clause, which after certificate number 2400658 and the 18,477.86, we'll add a fourth bullet point which says plus penalties and interest, bringing the total to 24,322.88. And Trish, I'll give you that before
Thank
get
you.
to the meeting.
Okay. 232. This is a $50,000 grant. Can you let me know what this grant will be used for? Because it says here, we are pleased to share with you and your team and recommend a full grant of $50,000 to the city of Orange for the development of public health element of the master plan and integrating health outcomes into the master plan. I don't know
So-
what that means.
So as you know, every 8 to 10 years, we do a master plan review. There has not been a public health section of the master plan. And the master plan, because it impacts zoning and other parking and other environmental issues, there's an environmental component to the master plan. One of the recommendations from the state has been to add a public health component to the master plan. And this allows us to do that using grant funds.
Okay. And I also see that there's a team here, but I don't see, some of this is incomplete because you mentioned the mayor and the Neshawan group, Vinnie DiFilippo, but who's the high school student? Who is the municipal council representative? And what faith-based representative?
So the municipal council representative has to be appointed by the municipal council.
Okay,
And the Orange High School student has to be a referral from the school district.
okay. And what about the faith-based representative?
I believe that's an appointment of the mayor.
Okay. 233, 2026. This is services to provide Narcan training for the Orange Public Library staff
And community.
and community residents. I got it. But why isn't the library paying for this? out of their budget. Why are we paying for this when it's for the, library, staff? It doesn't mention anything about the city hall staff.
Well, there's gonna be a separate one that comes up for City Hall. This is using opioid funds, that the city is a recipient of, so they're effectively grant trust funds. And there is a list of approved activities that you can spend the opioid funds on, and Narcan training within the community is one of those approved activities.
Okay, but I think I heard you say we would be using that for our.
No, there's more
for-
funds.
There's more funds, okay.
Yes.
What was that? That was, 233?
Yep.
235. This is a resolution authorizing the city, for environmental protection to conduct a PA/SI work on a property located at the Memorial Hospital site. I assume, and when I read this grant is for environmental work, correct?
Correct.
Okay. How much is this grant for?
It's 290-something thousand. 295,570.
Okay. Now, okay, and that's the amount of the scope of the work that's going to be done.
Correct.
Now, what, if the grant is denied, what is the plan?
It won't be denied. It's already been approved verbally and in discussions with the Brownfields Development people.
Okay. Two, 3, 8. Can you explain this to me? This is for the Chestnut Street pumping station.
So this is every year. We've already done this resolution once,
Okay,
but because we're in a new fiscal year, we have to do a new resolution because it's a professional resolution.
okay.
The amount hasn't changed.
But what have they accomplished so far?
So, they've done roughly 80% drawings, plans and specs, and they're doing a final design, as soon as I release them to do it. We just finished an internal review of their design and requested some changes. So
Okay.
we're discussing the cost of the changes.
What is the total projected cost of the PFAS treatment facility?
It's approximately 16 to 17 million dollars.
And my next question, are there any state or federal funds, like infrastructure
So there's
grants or
$3
anything?
million of principal forgiveness on the iBank loan, plus $2 million in principal forgiveness for planning. So approximately $5 million of principal forgiveness out of the 16 to 17 million. And that's before, we've also applied for a $5 million legislative appropriation grant through Senator Booker and Congresswoman McIver's office. We don't know if we'll get that grant, but we've been keeping our eyes on grant opportunities.
Okay, great. Last question, has PFAS been detected over there at the, station?
So
Chestnut
we
Street?
have a temporary treatment facility right now, and our levels are 0. Prior to the temporary treatment facility, there was PFAS detected in small levels.
Great, thank you. 239. This is, change order number 2 to modify the contract for the project known as New Jersey NJDOT.
Thank you.
What was the total amount? The total amount was 348,000?
That's the new amount, yes.
That's the new amount. Well, what was the total cost of this project?
It would be, 348, 850, 460.
Correct.
Okay, but the total amount that, the bid that we got was 229.
That's correct, and
Okay,
then we
so-
did a 49% change order.
Right, so we had two change orders. We had one change order for 113 and another change order number 2, which is on for tonight for 6,000.
Correct.
So total amount of change orders was $119,000, okay? Is this project completed yet?
No.
No. So will we see additional change orders?
I can't foresee any, but I can't sit here tonight and tell you no.
Okay, so if we, the total bid was 229 and we're already up to 348, where is this additional money coming from?
This money, the $6,000 coming from the operating budget.
Right.
But we're already 119,000 over the original bid of 229. So where did that money come from?
So this was part of the NJDOT Safe Streets program, which was a grant.
So everything prior to the $6,000 came from a grant. The $6,000 is coming from the operating budget.
Only the 6K.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. $241. This is a resolution authorizing the issuance of a tax anticipation note. I just want to be clear on this. The city is borrowing up to $5 million
Yes,
now to cover expenses before tax payments are fully collected.
yes,
And once we collect the taxes in this fiscal year, that money will go back?
yes.
Correct.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I think I'm good. Thank you, Council Vice President.
Anyone else?
Well, no, I do have one more. I'm sorry. This is, one that I don't like at all, but, it's 246, Chris.
Right. Go ahead.
You know,
I knew you was gonna say.
we have a recreation department.
We do.
Okay, we do. So why are we outsourcing this to the Board of Ed? And second of all, we're paying the Board of Ed $405,000 for this summer program. There's no accounting in my package of where this figure came from. I don't know how you came up with $405,000. I would like to see that, a line item, you know, so, I mean, this number could have been pulled out of the air. I want to know where this number came from, and why can't we do this, okay? I mean, if we got $405,000 to pay the Board of Ed to run our summer program, we can do that right here.
No, actually, we can't.
Why not?
Because, for two reasons. The $405,000 is effectively staff costs. It's temporary part-time employees. Because we have a layoff through civil service, we can't hire temporary part-time employees.
You can't hire summer employees, temporary? You
No.
can't? Okay.
The only ones I can hire are those that require a special certificate like lifeguards. So, in order to get around that, we did an interlocal agreement with the Board of Ed so that we could run the recreation programs. The Staffing in the department, as you know, has been cut vis-à-vis the layoffs. The $405,000 was arrived at by doing an exact allocation of how many people would be hired, times what they would be making per hour, times how many hours they would be working. In addition, there are 2 stipends built into that $405,000 for 2 board administrators who handle the HR and the onboarding. The entire program is overseen by our Deputy Director of Recreation, and she works the program throughout the summer and supervises it.
Okay. But I see here in B, it says the OBOE shall hire 2 summer
I
administrators.
took that out.
You took that out?
I took it out because it was confusing. Included in the 405 is the funds for the 2 onboarding administrators who are in the HR department at the Board of Ed.
Okay, and what is Exhibit B? That, I didn't see that either.
Exhibit B, which is the hiring,
Yeah?
that hasn't been determined yet. We have to do the application process.
Okay. Well, can you later on send me the accounting of the 405?
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you, Council Vice President.
Councilwoman Hilbert?
You knew I had questions, huh?
Yeah, I saw you.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Let's go back. Okay. My first question is for 233-2026, the resolution for the Narcan training. I understand you said we were using city funds that we received for opioid awareness,
It's the opioid settlement fund.
opioid settlement fund. Okay, so we also gave this agency a grant. So why are we paying for additional services if we already,
Well, we gave them a contract that was funded by a grant.
right?
But that covered different things than what this covers.
But isn't this tied to substance abuse and education?
It is, but it's under the opioid program.
Okay. Would it make a difference if this was not held at the library and it was held here?
Well, as I mentioned to Councilman Ross when he brought it up, we intend to do another training for city employees, Narcan training. So there'll be a separate program for that, also funded through the opioid funds.
So that means we'll see another price.
Correct.
Same price or more?
I don't know. I haven't negotiated the contract yet.
So it's up for negotiation. Okay. I don't really support that. I feel that if we've already paid them for certain services, this is almost like a change order, like the price amount just keeps going up and up and up. But I understand you said it's different funding, but to me, it's all the same if it's underneath substance abuse, education, and training. I'll move on. For Resolution 235-2026, in regards to Orange Memorial Hospital, can you explain to us why Orange, the township, is responsible for seeking out this grant?
So there's a program called the Brownfield Development Area, or BDA. The city has a BDA, and this property has been identified as a property that would be eligible for funding through the BDA. It's a grant fund. It is specifically designed for properties that are identified as potential brownfields. They have underground contamination, they have building contamination, they have soil contamination. So it's available to the city We've used it before on other redevelopment projects, like Harvard Printing, which was a Superfund site, and a couple of other sites down in the valley. So we, in conjunction with the potential developer of the site, we agreed to apply to expand the BDA at no expense to the city, and to make an application for funds under the Brownfields Development Act.
Okay, the grant that we're applying for, are there any restrictions on who's doing the work? Will the municipality be able to decide, or would the owner of the
We
site?
decide who does it,
So we'll be able to decide who does the work, and there's no restrictions?
correct.
Okay.
Well, there are restrictions in terms of who you pick. They have to be a licensed site remediation engineer. And we've used the Lewis Consulting Group for the entire BDA.
Okay. And is this study, no, let me rephrase it. Will the agreement that we have, the pending agreement that we have with the developer be contingent of this? Or they're just running parallel? Like, is there another step attached to this?
I'm not sure I follow.
So the DEP is conducting studies and making sure, like, we're asking for the grant to do the study,
Right.
right? So is this a part of the plan for the owner to seek out the additional funding in order to start the project and get the approval rolling?
So it's part of the overall plan
Mm-hmm.
to try and use as much grant funding as we can get to remediate the site.
Okay. And this is
That's part of-
included in their timeline of the plan?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to get to.
Got it.
Because I know Councilman Montague is going to ask what's going on with the hospital site.
Yes.
Okay, my next question is in regards to, nope, Councilman Ross asked that question already. 244-2026. Resolution authorizing Woodard and Curran to provide the professional engineering services. So this is actually combined with our service program, our lead pipe service replacement program. No, it's completely different?
No, this is the AMI project, which is an advanced metering infrastructure system, which basically means that every meter in town, every water meter in town is going to be replaced. They're all of the water meters are at least 20 to 25 years old. And what happens over time is they slow down and you lose water because you lose metering. So you have a loss in your system between what's pumped out and what's billed. So it's recommended that meters be changed every 15 years. We're over 25 years out on old meters.
Okay,
So we applied to the H2O iBank for a project for meters, and we were approved. And this is the engineering and construction management or installation management for that project.
okay. Would there be any additional costs to the budget or a monthly increase to any of the homeowners or property owners?
No, there'll be nothing that's not already built into the budget, into the increases that the council already approved. The reason I hesitated is because when you get a new meter, if your old meter was running slow and your new meter is running accurately, you may see an increase in your bill.
Okay. That's what I was hinting at, but you and I are on the same page. Thank you. And then, last but not least, Resolution 246-2026, going back to co-sign with Councilman Ross here. So we cannot hire the staff that we had previously?
So before the layoff, you hired every summer a part-time temporary staff. and they were the employees for the summer program. Once you had the layoff, you're precluded from doing that unless you're hiring special certificated individuals.
Okay, and for this, I do remember the last time we had a discrepancy about appropriations. It was because like we received a bill late from the school board type of thing. Do we have a plan to kind of like avoid that situation?
I've had a discussion with the Board of Ed's business administrator regarding the billing.
The billing, okay. And being that we're doing this program, have the administration and the board already discussed how many of the employees they'll actually be utilizing this summer?
So we have an estimate of how many employees, but that will depend upon the applications and the review of the applications.
Okay. And the last question I have is, and it's directly to you, business administrator. Have you heard of the new grant that's available to do renovations on sports facilities and parks?
I mean, I've heard of so many grants, you'd have to give me a name.
Okay. So is it possible if we, the council, and the administration work with Millennial to see if we could get something for Bell Stadium? Because I do believe something new came out this month, but I'm not quite sure if we need to loop in the school board in that conversation.
We would have to, but I'll check with Millennium tomorrow morning.
Okay, I'll forward the email to you so you see who is issuing the grant, where the information came from.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Council Vice President.
Anyone else?
Motion
Is-
to close? Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you,
time?
ma'am.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
motion to close. Summers Johnson?
Is there a second?
Second, Ross.
Motion to adjourn was made by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilman Ross. All those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We stand adjourned at 7:38 PM. Okay. This is a regular meeting of the Municipal Council of the City of Orange Township held at City Hall, 29 North Day Street, Orange, New Jersey, on Tuesday, April 21st, following the conference meeting. Can we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Led by Tensie Eason, Councilwoman North Ward.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call. Councilman Coley.
Present.
Councilwoman Easton.
Here.
Councilwoman Hilbert.
Present.
Council Vice President Montague III.
Present.
Councilman Ross.
Present.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
Present.
Council President Wooten is absent. Also present is Tricia Scipio, Chris Hartwhite, Business Administrator, Derek Brown, Fire Chief, Niall Clements, CFO, Aaron Mizrahi, Deputy City Attorney, and Marlon G. Towns, Legislative Research Officer. The requirements of NJSA 10:4-9 et se Sunshine Law has been met, and notice of this meeting was sent to the Star Ledger and published in the record transcript on Thursday, July 10th, 2025, posted on the bulletin board in City Hall, the council's website, the city's website, and filed in the office of the city clerk. Approval of meeting minutes. April 7, 2026, special conference and regular meeting minutes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Motion to adopt Summers Johnson.
Second, Montague.
Motion to adopt was made by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Council Vice President Weldon Montague III. All those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is adopted. Reports. Department monthly revenue collections. The Community Service and Health Department for the month of March 2026 collected $19,185.19. The Planning Department for the month of March 2026 collected $63,980. Oprah reports. For the month of March, there were 112 received, 56 completed, and 56 outstanding. There were no communications and petitions. Citizen comments. Members of the public wishing to address the council may do so during this portion of the meeting. Speakers must sign their name on the comments sign-up sheet and approach the microphone when called upon. To allow maximum public involvement, each speaker is permitted 1 3-minute period to interact with council and must provide his or her name and street address prior to beginning any remarks. Visual aids are not permitted. Speakers are reminded to be courteous and mindful of other individuals. Each person has the right to speak on any subject but is responsible for the abuse of that right. The city bears no liability for any comments made by the public and maintains discretion to remove any person engaging in obscene or disruptive conduct. The council will consider all comments and questions and will respond if and when appropriate, which may or may not be during this meeting.
Alicia Rodriguez, how are you tonight?
I'm good. Good evening, everyone.
Okay.
I didn't even know it could do that. What happens when they touch this stuff?
Oh, I was waiting for her to put the time.
Okay.
Okay. First,
Address.
Alicia Rodriguez, 47 Mountain View. First, regarding the status of the hospital, can you provide an update on that? Have they gotten financing? Are they moving according to their proposed schedules? Second, about the grant money. Why are we using grant funds for this site instead of allocating them to other sites that are in need? Shouldn't the investor be responsible for all project-related costs and environmental concerns? The investor and city are in talks with tax programs, and that is where I feel the investors are winning. I'm concerned we give grant money to big corporations instead of focusing on open areas that might be in need now. Third, council members, concerning traffic studies, is there a possibility to pass legislation that would require the hiring of a qualified veteran traffic study professional at the expense of the investors, regardless if they have their own study or not? Fourth, last meeting I missed a walk-on ordinance, which was 5/2026, about the parking system that would charge residents $150. My question is, why are we charging them at all? We pay taxes and deserve to have a parking to come home to. If that is unrealistic, at minimum, why are we raising the price for residents? I believe this system should not be profit-driven, but rather aimed at addressing the overwhelming impact that these apartment buildings are having on our neighborhoods. Also, why have there been so many walk-on items the last few months? I asked this last time. It does not give residents time to review or understand what is being passed, regardless if it's only a first reading. It's not transparency. Regarding Resolution 246, how much is the hourly rate for the 3 employees and how many hours are determined will be worked? The resolution doesn't specify wages or the cost per child. How can we pass this resolution without a clearer understanding of how the funds will be used? Also, the cost is nearly $500,000. In a time when we can't afford to pass budgets or resolutions blindly, I would ask you to provide more information. How can the, sorry, I missed it. I would also like to know if the mayor and the Board of Education are qualified to handle a budget and the responsibilities. Also, have we looked into nonprofits that would be willing to work with Kids of Orange that may help offset the cost? And last, for Resolution 232, before passing this, can you consider giving the residents the opportunity to show interest rather than appointing a currently employed person to do additional work? I just don't see how one person can have a job and be part of 3 or more committees and do their job to the best of their abilities. It feels like people are monopolizing positions, and it feels unfair to residents, and again, goes against transparency and could cause conflict of interest.
Thank you. You can respond? Okay.
As far as the grant funds go, many sites that are developed or redeveloped throughout the state take advantage through the host municipality of the brownfields redevelopment and development grants. Doesn't cost the city anything, and these are precisely the types of sites that the law was intended to benefit. Many times, because of the extraordinary costs associated with remediation, the projects or the site would just sit if it wasn't for the use of state grant funds to clean up the site. So it's not unusual. It's done all over. We've done it before here very successfully on other sites. In terms of the hospital schedule, the schedule is not at this point affected. It will depend. There may be some impact to the schedule based upon the preliminary assessment and the site investigation, which we're authorized tonight. The legislation with respect to traffic studies, I'd refer that to the law department for a response. With respect to the ordinance 520-2026, there's a public hearing on that ordinance on second reading, so all your questions can be then addressed then. And in terms of Resolution 246, I don't know what 3 employees you're talking about. If it's the 2 employees, that's been taken out, as I indicated before. That actually refers to 2 of the people working in the HR department at the Board of Ed who will do all of the onboarding for the summer employees, the entire application process and background checks. And so they're getting a stipend for that work. In terms of the cost associated with the program and the management of it, we've managed this program the entire 10 years that I've been here without any issues. Last year was a little bit more difficult because of the layoff and the timing associated with actually entering into the agreement. However, this year we're working on it at a much earlier time frame than we were last year, and expect that some of those issues that we encountered last year we won't encounter this year. And in terms of the budget, as I indicated to Councilman Ross, depending upon the position within the summer program, the hourly rates range anywhere from minimum wage to $20 per hour.
And 232, sorry.
I'm sorry.
232, sorry.
Did you say 232?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I believe, and I'll check, but I believe that the Plan for Health grant program actually specifies who the representatives have to be in terms of the categories set forth in the resolution.
Okay. Thank you.
Next person.
Thank you. Next, the Honorable Chancellor Ura.
Dashler Evera, 433 Lincoln Avenue. Good evening, Orange Municipal Council members, residents, and guests. I am currently an 8th grader at Orange Preparatory Academy of Inquiry and Innovation. While I usually watch these meetings on YouTube, I felt it was important to be here in person today as we are approaching the upcoming election. I am here to speak on the fundamental importance of voting, not just for my fellow students within the Orange Public Schools District, but for every resident. Whether you are an adult or senior, regardless of your background, it is vital that you exercise your constitutional right. It is easy to feel like a single vote doesn't matter, but history shows us that local elections are often decided by the thinnest of margins, sometimes by only a handful of votes. If you are not registered yet, please do so today. Today is the final opportunity to register if you plan to cast your ballot on May 12, 2026. Now, beyond the ballot box, I want to highlight the positivity we are seeing right here in Orange. This past Saturday, I participated in the spring cleanup event hosted by the Public Works Department. It was an incredible experience to see the community come together, cleaning our streets all the way from Upper Central Fieldhouse to Scotland Road. I was also glad to see Mayor Warren and Councilwoman Summers Johnson out there supporting the effort. Following the cleanup, I attended the community food handout, a collaborative effort by the Orange Police Department and the city. This event will now occur every third Saturday of the month, providing a consistent resource for our neighbors. This is the hallmark of the city we live in, a community focused on productivity, resource distribution, and constant improvement. Thank you for your time and allowing me to speak today.
Thank you. Darnell Gibbs.
I don't think I could top his, but I'm gonna try now. How's everybody doing? I've been away for a little bit, had some military duties to do, so I'm back now. Darnell Gibbs, 1 Lincoln Avenue, Orange, New Jersey. Ms. Rodriguez pretty much talked about everything I was gonna talk about, and then Councilmember Quanteva and Councilmember Ross asked amazing questions, literally to everything that I had a question to, but they already asked those questions, but I'll focus on two things. So one of the things I wanted to focus on while I was away, there was a planning board meeting in reference to a project at 622 North Center. A couple of the residents, I apologize, South Center. Thanks for the correction. A couple of the residents reached out to me and said, hey, this doesn't sound right. So I said, okay, cool, no problem. When I get back, I'll take a look at it. So literally I got back and I decided to use my own personal time to do my own independent traffic study. And here's what I found. Thursday, April 16th, from the hours of 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., 1,800 passenger vehicles, 11 school buses or senior buses for transportation, 8 heavy trucks, 9 delivery vehicles, 2 unmarked police cars, for an average of 519 vehicles. From the hours of 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., 788 passenger vehicles, 2 buses, 4 heavy vehicles, 14 delivery vehicles, 4 unmarked police vehicles, 1 motorcycle, for an average of 406 vehicles. From the time frame of 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., 1,274 passenger vehicles, 13 buses, 5 heavy trucks, 11 vehicles, 2 unmarked police vehicles, 3 marked police vehicles, 3 motorcycles, with an average of 654. The recap of the average: in the morning, 519 vehicles, afternoon, 406, the evening, 654, for a combined average of 526 vehicles per hour. It should be noted that this was only done for the northbound traveling lane. It was not done for the southbound. So with my professional experience and expertise that many don't want to accept in other fields, that would probably give us an estimate of about 1,150 cars traveled in that particular area. The last thing I would bring up before my time expires, I noticed the budget hasn't come out because I've been looking for it. So one of the things that I asked for with this particular budget, when you guys actually do it, can you guys actually detail out the salaries for department heads? I compared our budget, the way it looks as far as the format, and compared it to other townships. Other townships actually list out their department head salaries. I'm just gonna ramble off a couple. I-80 police chief, director of public safety, the police director, the fire chief, and so on and so on. And ours is just itemized as one big dollar amount, and it doesn't really say what department heads make what salary. Thanks a lot.
It is on here.
Oh, that's, okay.
Ms. Gloria Bozeman. Good evening.
Good evening, all.
Good evening.
And especially you.
Especially him.
Here you go.
Sir. Gloria Bozeman, 345 Alcott Street. I'm going to read most of my comments because I think 3 minutes doesn't really allow us to fully articulate all of our concerns, but I'm going to do the best I can. Every time I come to the podium, I ask a single question until I feel as though that answer is satisfied, and that is with all the new housing development, what is the impact on the quality of life on residents who exist here? The last time I was here, the BA said he has directed me at least 3 to 4 times that I could find that impact or the impact information on all of those proposals that had come as a result of people proposing development. You're absolutely correct. You have asked me that at least 3 to 4, you have answered that at least 3 to 4 times. But that's not my question. My question is, how does the city council, what was the city council looking for in terms of impact of all of the rapid house development that was occurring in our city? And how had they measured impact with regard to the quality of life of residents and the experiences of infrastructure, education, as well as our individual experiences related to taxes? So I went back and I looked at least this, that the plan that was proposed for all of the development, the redevelopment goals, because I assume since you voted for those and accepted the recommendation of the planning board that you were aware of them. And it says, and I'm only going to highlight a few, to create new multifamily residential housing, to improve aesthetic appearances of properties in the image of the planned area where the properties are located, to return properties in the planned area to the city's tax rolls for payment of their fair share of property taxes. We know that didn't happen. Affordable housing, housing sales or rent will remain within the household, it will remain within the context of meeting the household of the New Jersey Council of Affordable Housing Standards for low or moderate income. Tax abatement programs, by designing an area of need, will offer or give the authority to give long-term pilots up to 25 years. I thought they were all 30 years. I didn't know you could go lower. Any tax abatement as far as the rehabilitation and redevelopment plan would be addressed as a part of a completed redevelopment agreement and financial agreement. So I'm asking the council, how are you monitoring that? And are you satisfied with those goals being met? And where is it that we can find for ourselves that we have experienced all of the goals that were outlined as proposed by that development plan? Should I sing now?
Are you done?
Yes, yes, sir. My time is up. I'm kind of watching
Okay.
the clock there.
Okay, so the redevelopment plan that you're quoting from is what?
What do you mean, is what? The
What are you
redevelopment
quoting
plan.
from?
The redevelopment plan that came as a result of the proposal that was submitted by the planning board to the council, identifying, what is that you call them? Those sites that are,
Scattered.
scattered sites. Thank you so
So
much.
it's the scattered sites redevelopment plan.
The scattered sites redevelopment plan.
Okay.
But all of those housing developments are listed within that plan. Yes?
Right, the scattered sites redevelopment plan is just confined to the scattered sites redevelopment plan. It doesn't include the other redevelopment plans, correct?
Now, my question is.
That's what I'm asking.
And I'm trying to clarify. We're gonna get on the same page in a minute. I'm trying to clarify. I said that when I looked at all of the properties identified in that scattered development plan, many of which now have developments going up on them or completed, these were the goals that were proposed by the planning board and then approved by the city council to be met by those developers.
Okay, so the redevelopment agreement for each of the projects in the scattered sites redevelopment plan addresses the components of the redevelopment plan. The fiscal impact statement, which I've referred you to before, which you said you've looked at, not the redeveloper's proposal, but the fiscal impact statement prepared by a professional hired by the city, also addresses the components of the redevelopment plan. It addresses the impacts to schools, it addresses the impacts to infrastructure, to police, to fire, and to taxes. So, yes, the agreements that the council has considered, both the financial agreement and the redevelopment agreement, are the agreements that guide whether or not the goals of the redevelopment plan are being met. That
So it should
and
be
the
a simple
master
answer.
plan.
You believe they've been met?
Yes.
You believe they've been met, so you should be able to articulate to me in summary how that occurs. And I don't mean you as the business administrator. I mean you as a representative of the city council who apparently answers the questions for the city council.
I'm a representative of the administration.
Well, I'm asking the city council, but you speak, you say you're a representative of the administration, but this is a city council meeting, and I have the opportunity to ask our esteemed city council representatives.
You do. And I was asked to see if I could answer your questions, and I attempted to do that.
Who asked? Nobody asked.
No, please, sir, don't speak from the floor. Please, sir, please.
She's asking the.
Sir, please, I'm asking you not to speak from the floor. Sir, you can't speak from the floor for the third time. I will have to have you removed. You cannot speak from the floor, sir.
It's unusual.
But this, you can't speak from the floor, sir.
This is a public forum.
Sir.
That's how government works.
I'm used to it. Thank you.
Government body, man. Y'all gotta act right, man. Y'all gotta get this together, man.
So just to remind the public, if you would like to speak, you have an opportunity to do so. Just sign up and you'll have the 3 minutes to speak, and just no interrupting. We'd like to make sure everybody gets their time and has an opportunity to hear their responses without interruption. That's all. Thanks.
That's it.
Council comments?
Close.
Yes.
Yeah, close,
Close.
citizen comments.
Can we
Summers
close
Johnson?
citizen comments? Thank you.
Yes.
Motion to close by Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
Second, Montague.
Second by Council Vice President Montague III. All those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is adopted. Council comments? You want to call?
Yes.
Councilman Coley?
Councilman Coley, you're leading off tonight.
Generally had nothing to say. I'm just gonna waive my time to my council colleague here.
Okay.
Okay.
South Ward Councilwoman.
All right. Thank you. So last Wednesday, I attended the Orange Board of Education meeting. Totally different mood, totally different energy, very positive energy in that room. I loved hearing all of the good news going on in the city of Orange as far as Orange Public Schools, because I am a parent of 2 students. It was really refreshing to hear the scholarships and all of those things that are going on. I'm getting calls like every day from South Ward residents whose children attend private school who want to put their kids in public school. And I've been setting up walkthroughs with Superintendent Fitzhugh and Principal Cook from Forest Street and Principal Woods from Haywood Avenue. I just think that's awesome that they can have one bill taken off, not having to put their child in private school, because, kudos to the teachers in Orange Public Schools because they're doing a really good job. I also thank them for not being on the list, because there's so many Board of Educations where they're missing 18 million, 20 million, a lot of people like to compare us to other towns, but the towns you're comparing us to are on the list of missing $18 million. And those schools are gonna lose teachers, and their students are gonna miss out. So I did go there to thank them for that. Saturday was absolutely crazy in the city of Orange. There was, I think, something every hour. I attended the cleanup. I walked with the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I also attended a neighborhood watch meeting with Lindsay Place Neighborhood Watch. Then there was a youth summit at Orange High School. I was able to speak there. They had 2 classrooms full of students learning all different, they were talking about all different topics. The food giveaway was good to see. The Main Street was like amazing. Right in front of the library where they were giving out the food, where you have Dr. Fatima Turner's Inner City Cafe, there was a fundraiser for the Orange football team to raise funds to be able to bring them on college visits. And I definitely had to attend that. My father was a longtime volunteer coach for Orange High, and just the fact that they're going to use sports as a way to pay for school, and they're going to be able to go on these visits that a lot of times people don't realize coaches pay for out their own dime. Then I was able to go support our youth basketball at Lincoln Avenue School, which is every Saturday. Yesterday, I held the Tenants Association meeting at one of our new buildings that contacted me that said they wanted a tenants association. I was able to bring a representative of New Jersey Tenants Association, which is almost like a union, which gives them a little bit more teeth when they're dealing with landlords and things like that. So if there are any other South Ward buildings that would like to start a tenants association, you can contact me on the city phone at 1-862-272-1155. I think I have like four more meetings coming up. But a lot of residents are moving out of these buildings because they're feeling like they have to always hire a lawyer or, something like that. But tenants associations, the ones that we already have, are working closely with the city. BA Chris, I have basically two questions. I know the traffic study for Claremont Terrace came in. I just need to know when we're going to be able to close the street.
So the traffic study pointed out some steps that have to be taken, including getting approval of DOT for any changes in traffic flow. So the engineers are going to have to prepare a plan report for the Department of Transportation and send it down there. So
Okay,
I
do we have a
don't need-
timeline for that?
I don't have a timeline,
Okay.
but I'll try and get you one.
Okay, thank you. And the other question, several streets have been contacting me for lighting. I know one street, I tried to put a light and they didn't want it, but it's incredibly dark. It looks like come mug me. So I don't know, what is the process? Because I'm prepared to do
PSE&G lighting.
Yes, I'm prepared to do a petition if I need to, but these streets are dark.
So the first thing we would do is contact our government rep,
Okay.
have a meeting. If you
Is
give
that
me
still Gary Williams?
Yes.
Okay. Mhm.
If you give me a list of the streets, we
Okay.
can go out and do a tour.
Perfect. And that's it. Thank you, Council Vice President.
Thank you. Councilwoman Hilbert,
Thank you, Council Vice President.
West Ward.
Thank you. So good evening, everyone. I would like to just, take a nice review over what happened over the past weekend. Orange was definitely alive and thriving and enjoying the great weather, while also out in service. So I had an amazing opportunity to start my morning off with an amazing chicken and waffles fundraiser over at Ebenezer Baptist Church, which was a phenomenal fundraiser for the church and all of their anticipated repairs and renovations that they are planning. So if you get an opportunity, please reach out to the church and see what other events and fundraisers they have going on, so that, thank you so much, so that we are assisting them in renovating their house of God, and that they're able to do more within their ministry. I also had an amazing time doing the spring cleanup, but as you all know, the West Ward does a cleanup every quarter, and with that cleanup, we actually get some grant funding that could go towards our open spaces and recreation. So if you see another opportunity to get involved with the cleanup, please do so, because it is helping our community. These are things that we can do, give a couple of hours on a weekend, and we could actually get tangible things back for our community. So it was amazing cleanup, and it was great to see a lot of people come out. I've actually met people in the West where I haven't seen yet. Surprise, surprise. I thought I knocked on every door, but it was amazing. Also, shout out to Orange Public Library and Director Wendy Sykes for the amazing organization at the food distribution. You saw a lot of our seniors, you saw a lot of our students, you saw a lot of the community just come out together. And thank you again to our partners with the Newark Community Health Clinic and WIC, and a lot of people who came out in Orange this weekend to assist the people and give them the resources they need, especially in this climate in our country. I also had an amazing time with speaking to other people in the community and at our candidate forum, which happened last night for the Orange municipal election. It was a great turnout. A lot of people were talking about community benefits. A lot of people were talking about pilots. A lot of people were talking about what they want to experience in the city of Orange moving forward. And we say that a lot. We always say Orange moving forward, but a lot of people feel like Orange is just moving people out. But I'd like to say that it wasn't a negative evening. It was just very, it was inclusive, and it raised awareness, and it brought people together for the same common reason, which is to have representation that is accountable, that is present, and that is open to a respectful dialogue. I would like to say in the West Ward, we have that. And I think many of the people who show up in the West Ward, regardless of how passionate you are, I thank you for taking an interest in what your local government is doing. So I hope that we continue to get more people involved and be able to work on having positive and healthy dialogues and actually working together, community and administration and council. In closing, I'd like to say that we are having a Mother's Day bus ride to Atlantic City. It's going to be on May 8th, so if you'd like to come along with us, please reach out to me while the seats are still available. Thank you so much.
Is it free?
Is it free?
Yeah.
Is yours free?
Councilman Ross.
Thank you, Council Vice President. I'm gonna
Speak
be
into your
very
mic,
brief
sir,
tonight.
please. Councilman Ross, will you speak into your mic for me? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I put on all the council members' desk tonight this press release from the Orange Public Library, and I think it's very important because it's a unique opportunity. It's a great opportunity, and it's the Orange Public Library, in partnership with Mayor Dwayne D. Warren, is proud to announce a new initiative designed to empower residents of the city of Orange Township with a rewarding career. This innovative program will provide four community members with a free, I'll say it again, free 32-week education at National Career Institute in East Orange, New Jersey, leading to a certification as a HVAC technician and electrical assistant. Okay, this is a great opportunity. It's a opportunity that, you know, people should jump on right away, but it's only for 4 community members. So anybody that would be interested, please contact the Orange Public Library, and you can contact Alex McMillan at 973-786-3988. And I will have the city clerk put this on our website, the city website, and the council website. And last, I want to say that my Councilman Montague and I will be having a town hall meeting this Thursday to discuss community benefits that everybody's been talking about. So please come out this Thursday, April 23rd, from 6 to 7:30, right here in the City Council chambers. Thank you, Council Vice President.
Thank you. Councilwoman Eason.
Thank you, Council Vice President. I want to start off by saying I moved to Orange in 1973, and I'm so happy to hear that there's some positive things that have happened. We've come a long ways, They made a lot of progress. And as quiet as it's kept, Orange is doing good. We're doing well. And things are happening, things are moving. The people outside of Orange are talking positive things about Orange for the first time. So I'm glad to hear that Councilwoman Summers Johnson talk about the school district, because when I came, one of our objectives was to improve on our schooling, because when I came, it was nothing but negative comments. So now I can see that we're having some positive comments. The school district is up to par, it's moving. we're not having some of the problems that some of the other cities are having with finances, because we've been working very hard. We raise a lot of money. We give a lot of scholarships. So I'm just saying, I'm glad to hear that we have some people that are positive and saying positive things about the city of Orange. I live here. I love Orange. I've loved Orange where I live. I like working with the people. I like talking to the people. And most of all, I like helping the people, because what we do as council people, 90% of my time is spent outside helping my seniors and helping each and every one with the things they need to do to live a good life in the city of Orange. And Councilwoman Jones has always talked about lighting. 276 South Center Street is a very dark area. Business Administrator, I think we talked about this earlier in the week, but the owner is gonna look at putting some lights on the building itself, because I went through there the other day and I really didn't see any public service lights. If they're there, they're very dim, because there's nothing over there. And when you go over that underpass, it's very dark. So he's working on lighting up that area. Also, I'm asking that, before I ask my question, I'm asking the residents to help the city of Orange, because as it gets warm, and we know people don't like to pay for dumping when they get garbage, so they're starting to dump, especially in the North Ward. So we're having to call the police to remove the dumping. Luckily, last week, we were able to get a license plate of the truck. And I hear now that we are able to confiscate the truck if they catch it when they're dumping, or they can go pick it up once they get the license plate. So I'm asking residents to be the eyes and ears and make sure if you hear something, if you see something, say something. We do have a tip line, and you can call that tip line, and nobody will ever know that you call. And let me just say this one. Carewell Hospital, which is the only local hospital we have in the area, is asking that we utilize their services more. They are in transition, so they're doing some great things. They're trying to bring their brand up so that people realize that they can do the same things as St. Barnabas. They're getting better. They got new leadership, new ownership. So if we want that hospital to remain in our area as our only local hospital for East Orange and Orange, we need to start utilizing something. And they do have some good programs. So I'm just putting a advertisement out for them. Also, I have a question. There's two areas that we need to address, and our attorney Montserrat, I don't know how. One thing is when the planning board, when we put in the memorialization that they can't charge people for parking their cars at these new developments, they're still charging. So I'm trying to figure out how we can police that, control that. Is it a possibility that maybe we need to send out a copy of the legislation that we did, that I passed, to make sure they give one parking space for apartment, so that they, I met a lady and she's paying like $2,500 in rent and $50 to park her car per month. That's too much money.
So parking, well, we can look at a couple different things with that. It could be a rent control issue, because if they haven't, if the parking went up more than 5% or 4%, depending on what they're, if the building is subject to rent control, that's a problem. It's a rent control violation. If they haven't been charged for parking in the past and suddenly they're charged for parking now, that's a rent control violation. It's a problem. So those are things that we are, as we're getting reports of, we're dealing with them one by one. As far as parking for new developments, the legislation requires that they offer a parking spot. It doesn't have to be free.
Right.
It just has to be offered. And so, the question is, from a transparency perspective, a lot of these landlords are listing out the price of the parking space separately, and we actually prefer that, because once these new developments become subject to rent control, it's going to allow us to regulate that as well. But that said, every development that is built has a parking requirement, obviously, in terms of how many parking spaces per unit. We all know, the minimum is a 1-to-1. But, in terms of offering free parking, the legislation just doesn't require it, and I'm not sure that we want to delve into that level of regulation over the landlords.
Well, let me just back up. On the planning board, when we do the memorialization of a new development, in that memorialization, it says that they will give one parking space per apartment.
But I don't think it says free. I think
But I'm not sure
It
it says
doesn't
free.
have to
Yeah.
say free, you just
But-
say, what the suggestion was, if the owner, and I know like with my mortgage, I pay my taxes, I have it included in my mortgage, so I don't pay it separately. What the suggestion was, you offer one parking space per apartment. If you wanted to charge, you make it as part of the rent, so they only have one bill to pay. They don't have to
They
worry
still
about, what's that, my bill is, my rent is $2,500.
Right.
Maybe $100 that is for parking,
But that's
which
the
makes
problem.
it easier for the people to budget.
Right, but you're saying easier, and this came up in one of the tenants meetings. They're still being charged $150. It's still gonna be $2,000, whatever, and then $150 for parking. It's just gonna be coming out of one place, and sometimes.
Which they prefer.
Yeah, the parking lot, sometimes, I know I have a building, the parking lot is owned by someone else, like a separate company does parking and a separate company does the building, so they're each trying to get their money, but
But
I don't.
But that just started some years ago when they separated the parking lot from the building. When I moved to Orange, that wasn't
Yeah,
what the housing was all about. The
Mhm.
parking lot and the building were one and the same.
Right.
Then the landlords figured out how to make money, so the parking lot, and go to another thing with Taco Bell down in Main Street. And you got the VIP there. If the people that's going to the VIP park in Taco Bell, now has a tow truck that sits there and they boot their car. And when the person from VIP comes out, they have to pay $90 to get the boot off of their car.
And I bet they won't park there.
and they shouldn't be there. They shouldn't be in Taco Bell.
But the problem
Okay.
becomes, when the argument starts, one night they called the police 12 times, and that's a lot for our people. So they're looking for, I don't know, I suggested they call the law department. I don't know how we figure that out, or somebody goes to talk to the two owners to see if they can work something out, because there is basically no parking down there.
There's nothing should be worked out, okay? If you don't belong in Taco Bell, then don't park in Taco Bell, okay?
But they're
You-
just trying to avoid a fatality of somebody get hurt because they get arguing over taking the boot off of their car. I'm just saying,
Park on the street.
I'm just throwing that out there for some suggestion. Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Councilwoman?
just,
Do they have signage up?
I was gonna go through that. I think
They
Councilman
need
Rose
signage
says
up.
they do.
They absolutely do.
Okay.
But getting back to the parking, especially in this new developments, I thought that parking was included in your rent. And in the lease, it says you pay X amount of dollars, and that includes a parking space.
Well, some of them, when we did the planning board approvals, that was what was supposed to happen. But I think we probably need to collect some of the, get a copy of the lease to see what they're really doing. Something has to change, because when we talk about affordable housing, our residents can't pay that much money to pay the rent, and then they gotta pay for a parking space. Doesn't make sense. So, that's why the legislation was trying to curtail some of that, so, but we can talk about that again offline. All right, all right?
Thank you so much. I have a few things. First of all,
Oh, one other thing, let me just finish the other part. We have a lot of businesses now that has delivery services. Have you noticed that on Main Street and on Cleveland? So the delivery cars are double parking on the street while they run in and get their delivery. Any suggestions?
I've actually convened a meeting with the police department to address some of that in certain areas. So we'll broaden the topic,
And they're parking at the bus stop, that's another complaint.
yes.
Because I can tell you, on Cleveland Street, during school hours, you can't even get down Cleveland Street, and it's a one-way.
Because of that, I know the one you're talking about.
Thank you, Council Vice President.
First of all, I want to be brief, but I want to acknowledge Angie Smith, stand up. She's the Director of Admissions at National Career Institute. They have a fine institution, and we appreciate what you're doing for our residents. We're going to increase that number as it goes on. So, thank you. Y'all would yes.
Give her actual title,
She's Director of Admissions.
President of the Board of Trustees.
Oh, I deal with it every day with Department of Labor.
But everybody should know.
Right. What's your title?
I'm the president of the Board of Trustees for the Orange Public Library.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I just want to let everyone know that we're doing our second annual Kids Summer Camp. We have 14, we're taking 20, and we're sending one person that's a chaperone for free. We're looking for a chaperone that's mature. Excuse me? Lebanon, Pennsylvania. Yeah, it's beautiful out there. Councilman Ross and myself, we followed the bus. It was great. It's a nice situation. So we only have a few spots left. Anyone interested, you have kids that's interested, let me know.
And Council Vice President, the kids have to be from Orange, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I want to talk to Mr. Clements.
Yes, sir.
What's the status of our budget right now? Where are we at?
The budget is pretty much ready. We're just finalizing the health benefit numbers. We've been going back and forth with the state. The numbers have changed because a lot of the retirees have now enrolled in the state health benefit plan that the active employees are in. So we should be good to go next month in May.
In May?
Yes, sir.
All right. B.A. Hartwick, you know what I'm going to say. Tell me about the recreation center.
So I mentioned at the last meeting, we need to have a closed session, and I'm going to speak to the clerk about scheduling it before your next meeting.
Thank you. Parking utility, when are they going to actually start working?
So they should be working by the end of this month.
So those two garages, I think one near the train station. How many garages? do
Crane
they
and
have?
Essex and Lincoln.
Okay. So those are the prices. I heard some, aren't they kind of steep or no?
So in the ordinance that we introduced, the monthly parking fee is estimated to be $85 a month.
Okay.
And that's consistent with what's charged in the parking garage in South Orange and considerably less than what's charged in Brick Church.
Thank you. And I think you gave us an update on Orange Memorial, the site. What other kind of movement do we have there? When should we see something happening?
It depends on how you define something happening, right? There's a lot of things that have to
Demolition.
be, there's a lot of things that have to be done before demolition. First of all, the site assessment and site investigation has to be done. The initial site assessment, which is a preliminary site assessment, has identified 11 underground storage tanks. All of those have to be tested to determine whether, or not, using soil sampling to determine whether or not they've leaked. So there's a whole process that they've started in terms of site assessment. At the same time, we're negotiating the financial agreement. We have a meeting scheduled for this either Thursday or Friday, I don't remember, with the developer to go over the latest round of offers and counteroffers. And they are preparing an Aspire application. They need the financial agreement in order to file the Aspire application. So over the next several weeks, a number of things are happening. But you're not going to see demolition until the site is assessed.
So I hope to see a lot of you at our event on Thursday, April 23rd, 6 p.m. is your meeting. We want to hear from you. So that's it.
Council Vice President, could I ask one more question to our business administrator? With all of the things that's good, Central Place Sewer System, are we planning on expanding that so it's not backing up so much?
So we did an initial study about, I want to say it's a year ago now, that involves Central Place, Oakwood, Hickory, and there's an issue that we have to address with the sizing of the sewer line, the
Right.
sanitary sewer line.
Are we working with the county to make sure we get funding to do that as we move forward with new development? Because I want to say a week and a half ago, it was backed out all the way to West Orange. So is there any plans in the near future before the hospital center starts and all of that that we expand that pipe?
So the pipe has to be expanded. We already know that.
Right.
And we haven't had a discussion with the county simply because we own the pipes. So the only discussion we have to have with the county is a logistics one about when we're gonna do the work. Part of the discussion and negotiation with the developer is about cost in terms of who's going to bear the cost for the enlargement of those pipes. Part of that responsibility will fall upon the city because the pipes are already undersized, and part of it will fall upon the developer because of the increased capacity that's necessary.
But shouldn't East Orange and West Orange share in that cost?
So the pipes change size, if you will, and they get downsized on the orange side for whatever reason. So the pipe on the East Orange side is a 24-inch pipe. The pipe on the orange side is, I believe it's a 12. I'd have to go back and look. So you're going from a 24 to a 12. That's what's causing your flooding because it gets overwhelmed.
Anything
Thank
else?
you.
Okay.
Move the agenda, please.
Thank you. There are, for legislation, a quick note to council members. If you saw on your desk, there was a supplemental debt statement that was to be included in the ordinance 9-2026.
Can I ask me just, excuse me, so when we do the sewer lines now, what are we putting in now?
It depends upon the location. So there are certain locations that require larger pipes.
But we're not sticking with the 12 inches anymore.
Well, in some places you have 8, and those 8s need to be replaced because those 8s are 60, 100 years old.
Right, that's what, so my question
when
is,
they're replaced,
as
they
we
get-
are,
They get enlarged.
okay, all right, that's my question, okay, all right, thank you. Sorry about
Can
that.
I piggyback off of that, Council Vice President? Are there any repavement, streets on the repavement schedule that might be held up because of this?
No.
Okay. And I was stating that on your desk, you have, from the DCA, a supplemental debt statement that is to be included in ordinance 9-2026. That's the first thing. And the second thing, there is an amendment to resolution 246-2026. You have the new service agreement. The amendment is removing 3B. Statement 3B has been removed from the service agreement. Okay? No? You have the new agreement in front of you. I printed it out. And the new agreement is, yes, you do. Here, you can take mine. It's removing 3B. Would you like for me to read 3B for you? 3B said, the OBOE shall hire 2 summer administrators in addition to the non-managerial summer employees for a list of city-approved employees to be hired. That was removed from the agreement. Okay? Those are the 2 things that I have for you that was sitting on your desk. All right, so now we have ordinances. On second reading, none. Ordinance on introduction, first reading. 6-2026, an ordinance to amend the supplement of the Code of the City of Orange Township, Chapter 169, to establish Article 2 entitled Voluntary Autism Safety Awareness Street Sign Program, sponsored by Councilmember Jamie Summers Johnson. Is there a motion?
On the motion to adopt.
Second, Montague.
Motion to adopt was made by Councilwoman Tinsy Eason, second by Council Vice President Weldon Montague III. On the motion.
On the motion. Just to add an extra measure of oversight, are we actually going to keep a listing of where all of these are? Or is there going to be any measures to for reinforcement, working with the police department?
Yeah, you're talking about the autism safety one?
Yes.
It has to be anonymous. You can only know the street. You can't know exactly where the kid lives. So I'm working with the Board of Education to get an approximate list of how many elementary, middle school, and high school autistic students that we have. And it's more so, this came about attending the Nassan's Place at the Monty Irvin Park about autism and how our artistic residents are eloping, which was a word I learned last year. I thought it meant running off and get married, but it actually means they get loose from their parent and run into the street. So I'm hoping these signs help deter cars from speeding. So it's just basically kid on the block type signs. And I'm also working with Monty as well for the signs. So it's just, we will know what the streets are, but we just won't know where the person actually lives on the street.
Yes, that's what I was implying, like just a listing of the actual streets.
Yes, we
Okay.
will definitely have that, yes.
Okay, and we will include the current ones we have.
Yes, yes.
All right, how will we know if said family moved from the area, if we need to remove that sign from the street?
That's a good question. I guess we could ask their, the clerk's office, they go to you, so you will know where the streets are, and I guess just as council people have to monitor it as we're out and the neighborhood watches. They know, like I know in my area where I know where they actually live, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't think because no one can know, so only you would know. And then I guess we would have to, I don't know that other part.
I only bring it up because, like with our handicap,
Mhm.
right? Our handicap decals and
Right.
the permit parking. On my block, we didn't realize that the woman had left the home. They moved her into like a nursing home, but the family themselves were still there. And so then when they sold the property, it was just up in limbo.
Okay.
They were like, oh, you have to get the previous owner to release it or say they don't need it anymore. They have to contact the city. But by that time, they're not going to reach out. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe we could add
By
an
second
extra
reading,
process.
I'll ask the law department and I'll figure out something for that by the 19th.
It's probably a conversation that we have to have with the school board about updating street records
Okay.
for autistic students.
Okay.
On an annual basis.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
No problem.
Anyone else on the roll call? Councilman Coley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Eason,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilman Monica III,
Yes.
Councilman Ross,
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Council President Wooten is absent. That's 6 yeas. This passes. Ordinance 7-2026, an ordinance establishing a voluntary senior resident information registry program in the city of Orange Township, sponsored by council members Jamie Summers Johnson. On the motion, is there a motion?
Move it, Ross.
Second, Montague.
Motion by Councilman Ross, second by Council Vice President Montague III. On the motion, roll call. Councilman Coley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Eason,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert,
Yes.
Council Vice President Montague III,
Yes.
Councilman Ross,
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Council President Wooten is absent. That's 6 yeas, this, and 1 absent. This passes. Ordinance 8-2026, an ordinance to amend the code of the city of Orange Township, chapter 200, entitled Vehicles and Traffic, section 200-52-1, handicap parking spaces for 262 Snyder Street. Is there a motion?
Motion Coley.
Second, Montague.
Motion by Councilman Coley, second by Council Vice President Montague III. On the motion, roll call. Councilman Coley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Eason,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert,
Yes.
Council Vice President Montague III,
Yes.
Councilman Ross,
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Council President Wooten is absent. That's 6 yeas, 1 absent. This passes. Ordinance 9-2026, a bond ordinance providing for various water utility capital improvements in and by the city of Orange Township in the county of Essex, state of New Jersey, approving $5,400,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $5,400,000 bonds or notes to finance the cost thereof. Is there a motion?
Motion Coley.
Second, Summers Johnson.
Motion by Councilman Coley, second by Councilwoman Summers Johnson. On the motion, roll call. Councilman Coley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Eason,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert,
Yes.
Council Vice President Montague III,
Yes.
Councilman Ross,
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Council President Wooten is absent. That's 6 yeas. This passes. Consent agenda.
Point of order. You didn't do the final reading date.
Oh, I do apologize. Thank you, ma'am. The final reading date for all of these ordinances it's May 19th, 2026. Thank you, Councilwoman Eason. Consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered in its normal sequence of the agenda. Are there any council members who wish to remove any
Yes.
resolution for a separate vote?
246.
246. Anyone else?
Yes. 233.
233. Anyone else? That's it? Okay, so consent agenda consists of 230, 231, 232, 234, 235, 236, 237, 238, let me start over again, I do apologize. Consent agenda consists of 230, 231, 232, 234, 235, 236, 237, 238, 239, 240, 241, 242, 243, 244, 245, 247. Is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
Motion, Summers Johnson.
Second, Montague.
Motion by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilman Montague III. On the motion, roll call. Councilman Coley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Eason,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert,
Yes.
Council Vice President Montague III,
Yes.
Councilman Ross,
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Council President Wooten is absent. That's 6 yeas, 1 absent. The consent agenda has passed. Items removed from the consent agenda. Resolution 233-2026, a resolution of the Municipal Council of the City of Orange Township, Essex County, New Jersey, authorizing the non-fair and open professional services agreement to Greater Essex Counseling Services to provide Narcon training for the Orange Public Library staff and community residents in the amount not to exceed $4,500. Is there a motion?
Motion Coley.
Second, Eason.
Motion by Councilman Coley, second by Councilwoman Eason. On the motion, roll call. Councilman Coley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Eason?
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert?
Abstain.
Councilman Montague III?
Yes.
Councilman Ross?
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
No.
Council President Wooten is absent. That is 4 yeas, 1 abstain, 1 absence, and 1 no. This passes. Resolution 246-2026 as amended. Resolution authorizing the mayor of the City of Orange Township to enter into interlocal services agreement for an amount not to exceed $470,000 with the Orange Board of Education to employ summer program employees and administer all municipal summer programs for the 2026 summer season. Is there a motion?
Motion, Summers Johnson.
Second, Eason.
Motion by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilwoman Eason. On the motion, roll call. Councilman Coley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Eason?
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert?
No.
Councilman Montague III?
No.
Councilman Ross?
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
Yes.
Council President Wooten is absent. That's 4 yeas, 2 noes, 1 absent. This passes. Can I get a motion to,
Did you say motion to adjourn?
No, I did not. No, I did not. Can I get a motion to walk on Resolution 248-2026?
Motion to walk on.
Exactly. She was about to say all that.
Oh,
I was coming.
I ain't second. She paused.
Resolution honoring and celebrating the service and retirement of Captain Ruben Padilla. Is there a motion to walk on?
Move it, Ross.
Second. Oh,
No, that was you.
okay, second, Summers Johnson.
Motion to walk on was made by Councilman Ross, second by Councilwoman Summers Johnson. All those in favor vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion adopted. This Resolution 248-2026 WO has been walked on. Is there a motion to adopt Resolution 248-2026 WO, a resolution honoring and celebrating the service and retirement of Captain Ruben Padilla? Is there a motion?
Move it, Ross.
Second, Hilbert.
Motion by Councilman Ross, second by Councilwoman Hilbert. On the motion, roll call. Councilman Coley?
Yes.
Councilman Ross?
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
Yes.
Council President Wooten is absent. That's 6 yeas, 1 absent. This has passed.
Pardon the interruption, Madam Clerk. I just want to note, I think you guys spelled his name wrong. I believe it's spelled R-U-B-E-N.
I was told it was Ian.
Yeah, look
Is
at
it Ian or Ian?
No, it's Ian.
Ian.
The email said Ian. We'll make sure the correction is made. Okay?
I make a motion to oh, I'm sorry. Can't take me nowhere.
There is no new business. Walk on. There's no new business. There's no old business. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, Summers Johnson.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion to adjourn is made by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilwoman Hilbert. All those in favor vote by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? We stand adjourned at 8:50 p.m. Thank you so much. The next scheduled Municipal Council Conference meeting and regular meeting will be held on Tuesday, May 5th, 7 p.m. at City Hall, 29 North Day Street, Orange, New Jersey, 07050 in the council chambers.
Have a wonderful night.
Hey, Madam Clerk, I didn't open it.
Okay.
I didn't open it.
I try to make sure that you